Hello, hello, hello. A long time no see. So finally I'm back and playing Title Tuesday today. My third Title Tuesday this year. Meanwhile, it is April, 7th of April, so haven't played too many of them. Two minutes before the start. Have no expectations for today. Just playing some games. Don't expect anything. Don't expect anything great. Where am I? Number 53 currently. Yeah, 2877 of course is not my rating, not my level. Let's say when I had a goal to increase my rating, I made it close to 3100. Yeah, maybe we can say that was my peak, but that was not long ago. So maybe one day I will spend some time on getting back to 3100, so not sitting with shameless 2877. And 5 seconds before the start, here we go. I don't even remember how to play Blitz. This is all quite standard. E4 shouldn't work, so it's okay. Now I go for bishop b2, queen d2, rook d1. The question, should I play f4? Probably not yet. So let's start with queen d2. F4 shouldn't be a problem. I just have enough defenders. While now I can go for f4. Then this rook goes to either d1 or e1. And at some point it might be about playing d4. Maybe even doing that right here, right now. Maybe let's develop the rook first. So then I will, rook e1, king h7 is definitely better for me. I mean, rook e1, including rook e1 is better than including king h7. Yes, king on h7 might be safer than on g8, avoiding some checks. But of course, rook on e1 is better compared to king h7. The only reasonable idea I see for black is to take on d4. Okay, this is already not a reasonable idea. Okay, I should take Yeah, you see, in terms of this, the rook would be better on d1. Then I would win the game after dc5. dc5. He can even go for dc5. Takes, bishop, no. I can ignore that. I can play rook d1. Rook d1 looks reasonable. Let's see what he's gonna do about rook d1. But at the same time, I can go for d5. Let's say bishop goes somewhere. I take on g7, king takes, and then g4, either preparing that or playing g4 straight away. There will be also an annoying check on b2 at some point. So it's interesting. Now I can take on c5, dc5, takes, king takes, queen b2 check, king f7 perhaps. Let's go for d5. Then I will take on g7, and what then? What then? g4? Isn't that too much? If I play g4, let's go. Not so confident. Like, definitely not a bad move. At the same time, I wouldn't say I'm so much confident about this move. I mean, what else if not g4? I might even think about playing h4, h5. Maybe he will be forced to take on a6, b5. That's okay, not a problem. That's anyway slow. I don't know about h4. h4 would be such a nice move, but there is one annoying thing about that. Let's take on f5 and let's go for king f2 or h1. Probably h1 would be safer. Now we go rook g1. So like queen c3, and then depends, maybe bishop e4, knight h5, or knight e4 ideas. That's my point. But maybe black is solid enough. For example, he can play rook f7, rook g8, but no, he doesn't do that. He wants to perhaps exchange the queens at some point. And unfortunately, let's try knight h5, but here there is bishop e8, a nice move for the guy. So knight h5 is a bluff. Bishop takes e4, pawn takes, queen c3, queen b2. Okay, what if I take and I go for something like queen g2 doesn't really threaten much? Okay. What about queen f2? Not so clear. Not so clear. Well, let's play rook c1. So we're meeting queen b2 with rook c2 at least. Yeah, I would prefer to checkmate the guy somehow, but I don't see how I could do that. I mean, I need a few moves. Black's king is definitely not feeling great. And it can be some accidental checkmate. Knight g6 doesn't look great, obviously. Even like takes, rook takes, king takes, rook g1, king h7, but there is no checkmate. Bishop here or there? That's the question. Maybe bishop goes to f1, also defending the pawn on c4. At the same time, it would be interesting to put more pressure on f5 and not interrupting the connection between the rooks. Rook takes g6. No, this time it should be. Ouch. Oh, but I have nice punch. If rook f2, knight f6, rook takes, rook g7, and checkmate on g7. That's it. White is winning. Also nice queen b2. I take on e2. Honestly saying, I blundered. I mean, like I just said that I didn't really calculate, so we can't say that I blundered because I didn't calculate. Yes, I said that it should work. Yeah, so g4 is the best move. King h1 is the best move. Oh, here I even thought that maybe I don't need to take on c4, but I didn't see the move anyway. Bishop f1 is fine. Queen a3. Queen a3, rook b1. What is that? Rook b1, then queen g3, and there is no defense. Rook b2. I had a simple win. Queen g6, queen g3, and then there is no way to defend the knight. Okay, not bad for starters. Next round is coming. Okay, black against 24-18. Okay, let's go for c5. Now white should already be careful about the pawn on e5 because knight e6, bishop g7, and I take the pawn. And there is no rush to take immediately. Yeah, I don't see a way for him to defend it. So let's castle first. Yeah, let's castle. Okay, now let's take it. The bishop is important on one hand, but bishop d4 makes perfect sense, I think. Okay. Yeah, maybe something. Maybe I did something wrong a little bit. Maybe bishop g7 was a better move. Where do I move my knight? Let's go to d4. Of course, should still be fine for me, and white has like 1-2 moves to prove something, and if he doesn't, then black will be just a pawn up. But yes, so there are some like perhaps there are some ideas for white. And unfortunately I cannot play e6 because of f6. Maybe I can do that, but looks a little bit risky, so let's play d6. But then maybe still at some point I would have to do something about like trying to, yeah, somehow I'm maybe f6, rook f7. Yeah, f6, rook f7, rook g7, something like that. Because otherwise it's not clear what else I can do, how to solve that situation on the king side. Now, queen e6 will be a little bit queen queen e6 will be a little bit annoying for white. Yeah, for white, but not for me. Oh, this is also a very annoying move, but not for me. Oh, come on. Seriously, you're gonna play this? Yeah, bishop d4 probably was not a good decision. Yeah, just taking that pawn, like being greedy. Actually, bishop d4 is not worse than bishop g7. Oh, I think after bishop d4, probably f5, I can just take it. I think I just take it. No, I don't. I take here like I played. d6 like I did. And here I take. f6 is not bad, however. gf5, bishop f5, e6. But obviously gf5 is generally a bad move, but it works in a concrete way. So after gf5, there is no convenient way for white, and I will be in time to play e6, f5. Yeah, and here it's already, yeah. And still, of course, the game goes on if white played at least knight f4. f5 is not so obvious to me. I would probably defend the pawn somehow. And h4 doesn't work because of e5. Also not so obvious. Okay, not a bad game. Not a great game. Easy win thanks to my opponent. So we have 4 minutes before the next round, because this game they still have 1 minute 30, 1 minute 50. Nothing interesting to watch at others' games. So 2 more minutes before the next round. Meanwhile, let's check what's going on in the candidates tournament. Okay, Sindarov drew. And what about Karana? Karana also will make a draw. So we are waiting for a big game between Karana and Sindarov. Which round they play? Probably round 3 or round 4, I think. I'm in round 4, so it means round 10, probably. No, not 10, 11? 11, round 11. But maybe by round 11 everything will be already clear. So, how much time left? Okay, 30 seconds left. That's fine. That's fine. So next round is coming. Here we go. Playing against Serena. Which knight goes to e4? That's the question. I'm not sure, so let's go with this knight. Maybe some idea like bishop c2. So can I play bishop c2? Generally I can. At the same time, what is his next move? So maybe I just play rook d1 first. As you remember, game 1. Okay, he found him. He actually had a move. Okay, rook e1, defending e3. Knight f4 is not a big deal. Let's go for bishop c2. So if knight f4, then knight f6 and checkmate on h7. Okay, no more trick like that. And what do I do now? Maybe, let's see what he's gonna do about queen d2. Let's see what he's gonna do about queen f2. Not a great position for me. At the same time, I wouldn't say that it is a bad position. Knight f4 doesn't really create any threat. Oh, bishop h3 might be a threat. Bishop h3 is definitely a threat. Okay, so maybe I should exchange the queens then. Knight f1, so everything would be defended. Maybe knight e3 makes sense. Oh, he's gonna go for bishop b6 probably. No, I don't like this. Yeah, just a worse position for me. After knight e6 it will be a worse endgame for me. And nothing great at all. Pretty bad game, I would say. I play knight b3, knight bishop b6, knight c4, bishop d4, knight takes, rook d4 if I play. I'm gonna lose on time if I keep thinking. Let's play knight b3. Or maybe this was my moment. Of course, d5. Why didn't I play d5? Stupid. d5 was such a simple solution for me. Generally, I would probably survive this position, but maybe not with my time. This one is already lost. Here it was, of course, better for black, but should be drawn, of course. And here probably bishop c2 would be a better move. No, not a big deal. H4 fixing the pawn on h5, so exchanging it. And king should go to d3. Yeah, some stupid decisions in the also missing the moment to play d5. Just d5. Oh no, still worse. But also he made something wrong here because this position is already drawn. And this is this stupid thing that sometimes you accidentally, like, you want to look at somebody's games and then for some reason you for some reason you continue. No, I don't want to withdraw from the tournament. A bit strange setup by white. Okay, let's play knight c6. And then I think now it makes sense to go for d4. The only thing I'm not sure about after e4, should I take or I can just ignore that? And the rook e1. What is this WFM? Is it some sort of what? Of preparation or like playing from scratch and making bad moves? Should I play f5 or h6? Like h6 followed by a 5 trap in the knight. If h6, if f5, knight g5, h6, knight h3, g5. Looks shitty for white, I would say. e5 is also reasonable. g5, maybe she's gonna take on g5. So like, okay, take it. So the only thing for me is not to blunder checkmate. Okay, should I play queen g6 or bishop f6? Let's start. Queen g6, maybe about knight f4. Queen g6 might be a small issue about knight f4. What do I do then? What if I, okay, keep asking questions with queen e7. So now if knight g5, then I go bishop f6. Yeah, makes sense. And so now when I will play queen f7, if she keep going queen h4, I play bishop f6 already. And so if previously my queen was on e8, queen h6 would be an option here. If queen h6, I meet it with queen g7. Oh, queen h7. Okay, this one, yeah, it's actually a good question. Here, here, here. All moves look quite reasonable, and I'm actually not sure which one is the best. Let's play queen g6, leaving some squares for the king, for other pieces. Bishop c1, nothing dangerous. How about maybe king g7 with the idea of rook h8 trapping the queen? Looks not bad. Like bishop d7 looks good. I think she will simply take here and play queen f4, but then I can exchange on g5 and that's it. e4, e3 idea don't work. I simply take on e3. So maybe trying something like c4, at least attacking the knight, dc3, e4, because obviously white's position is completely lost. So like at least trying something, yeah, like maybe g4, yeah, just as expected, taking on d5. And now actually there is no rush for white to play queen f4. She has one move to make. The real problem is that there is no move to make. Should I take, however? Bishop e5 doesn't look bad. Let's take, let's simplify. I have already spent quite of time, so not like 139 might be not enough to convert it, so I mean it's better to speed up. A5 maybe was not a great idea, but okay, not a big deal. Of course, bishop e5, I'm sure that bishop e5 was stronger, keeping the queens and maybe even trying to checkmate white's king. A little bit annoying. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, now I'm not sure if I converted at all. Honestly saying, with 107. King f7, maybe king g6 was more accurate. Now it looks completely winning because I grab one of the pawns, but my time is not so great, so this one I blundered, of course, but fortunately I have rook e6. What do I do now? What my move is? Shit, everything is hanging. What do I do? Okay, this one I will win somehow. very bad play by white in the opening. It's like if you play knight f3, bishop b2 systems, you should fight for the center with either d4 or c4. Here is still something like e4 or e3. Probably rook e1 is already like wasting time. And then queen d2, just a terrible move. Yeah. So e5 is a good move. Well, actually, bishop g5 is the best. Knight b4 is a nice idea. Yeah, then maybe not the best converting, but still actually was. I had an advantage all the time. I don't want to follow this guy anymore. Like, stop showing me his games. Three out of 4, not bad, not good, just neutral. Now it will be 6-minute break. So let's see what will happen. So it will be like what? Yeah, it will be a 6-minute break, but there are still some games going on. So it will take some time. And by the way, guys, my Chessable courses are currently on sale. So if you want to buy any of them, this is a good moment. And at the same time, I have done with the text part of my third course, and probably like maybe next week or in 2 weeks I will start the recording part, and if everything goes smoothly, then I would expect it to be published maybe in middle May, something like that. Yeah, most likely not the beginning of May, but I think somewhere between the middle of May and maybe beginning of June. The third course is like, you know, as a person very critical to himself, like saying that like the course is just great. I can easily, like, let's say, for example, when I published my first course, when I published my second, not I published, but Chessable published it, yes. So I, like, like, also, for example, I have a book being published, and so as a very critical person, I saw something wrong here, something wrong there. And it's even not about being wrong, but being not so sure how, let's say, that's maybe this could have been better, that could have been better. With the third course, it is just masterpiece. The third course, I will promote it as, like, as hard as possible, because if with the first and second one, it was, I would say, like, I did my best. I put, like, let's say maybe 90% of my out of 100 of what I could have done. But this course is 200% of efforts, 200% of everything. The only problem right now is they don't like, they are not sure about the title, and I don't like the one they suggest. They probably, like, since they suggest something else from what I was suggesting, they probably don't like my title as well. But I think my title is way better. So like, I will fight. I'll fight for the title. not for the title in Title Tuesday, but for the title for my course. Yeah, unfortunately, there are not too many. Like, I mean, since I rarely. Oh, Bishop f5 is a little bit annoying. However, not a big deal, I think. Knight d3, I have bishop. Oh, knight d3, bishop a3, but then queen a5. Huge. Maybe a big deal. Maybe one more game I will play. I will have to play queen d2 probably. Rook b1 is a nice idea. Maybe then rook b2 and rook d2 makes sense. Instead of putting my queen on b2. Yeah. By the way, the pawn on b7 is hanging. For how long it has been hanging? Okay, yeah, probably was not a big deal. Anyway, I couldn't use that, so let's play rook d2. Let's go for knight d5, even though I don't really get anything by doing that. And it's also not so clear what I'm gonna do next, because actually I don't have a great idea here. Let's go back. At least covering b5, so black wouldn't play b5. But I simply had no great move, I would say. And like queen c1, rook d1 would be good. Maybe this is what I had to do, but should I play a4? a4 queen b4 might be no. a4 queen before I have queen knight d5 at least. Now let's go for queen c. Oh, actually queen c2 is available now, so let's go queen c2. That would probably be better. Yes, and unfortunately there are not too many of you currently on my streams. Obviously, since I don't stream regular. I almost don't stream at all, so that's nothing surprising that there are almost nobody here. Otherwise, I would ask you, what do you think about possible titles for the course. But still, I ask because maybe, yeah, because I know some of you watch, maybe 93 might be a little bit annoying at some point. So let's start with 94, and the other knight will go to c3. Yeah, that would be probably a better setup. So yeah, so what I'm thinking is, like, overall the course is basically about like a full instruction on what to do from the middle of opening till even not till middle game, not till, like, almost till the significant advantage. So covering the second part of the opening, then let's say options for the middle game, and then how, when everything is ready, how to strike and how to beat the opponent. And so that's why I thought about something general, like the chess playbook, and maybe that's enough itself. Maybe adding something like from opening to middle game, or something like that, like from opening to advantage. What they suggested is transitioning into the middle game. This is one title. So d6 or d6, that is the question. Maybe just queen d2 was better. So transitioning into the middle game, which is fine on one hand, by, like, I mean, it points out to the idea of the course, but at the same time it feels heavy, and since the plan was that the course is for broader auditory, yeah, even like for, let's say, for 1400 players, so I think this title could be So I think this title could stop some. Oh, I forgot that. I thought I can play bishop takes b5. Shit. Bishop f7 doesn't work. Leaving the bishop on d5 might be risky, but interesting. I don't know if I can do this, because too many things like rook d8 maybe, and maybe rook g6 was a bad idea. Okay, no, since he didn't do that, then it was definitely not a bad idea. want to sacrifice. Rook d5, probably I blundered that. Yeah, of course I made something wrong. I was completely winning. Now it's not winning after taking on e5. He didn't take, however. That's good. But how do I beat him? Can I play e6? Did I spoil everything? .96. No, like I of course I could have, like, what I should have done, simply rook c6, winning the guy in an easy way. Just an easy win, that's it. Rook g7 was not like, yeah, also blundering rook d5, but he didn't find it. And then here simply doing whatever the guy has no moves. So we got reversed King's Indian, and since white, like, one more time, like you see, 2 games before, I don't know, woman or girl from India, I think it was, WFM, she played knight f3, g3, b3, bishop b2. So the point is that when you play something like that, you should play precisely after you did that. Yeah, I mean, you should understand that you are lacking space, and you should go for some fight for the center. You should create some dynamic, because if you don't, you will simply lose the game. And maybe now it will be a good example how it happens. If I win this game, because it would be funny telling you that, okay, this is how it happens, blah blah blah, and then not winning the game. Maybe actually 96, I'm not so sure about this move. Maybe it was better to keep the knight on c7, controlling d5. I really wanted to play queen d7, but often it is about knight takes e5, and probably here it works as well. That's why I didn't play queen d7. At the same time, I don't want to move the bishop away too early. Okay, now I'm fine about doing that, and now I don't care about the d5 square anymore. This knight goes to d4 probably. Maybe I keep it. Okay, like, what is this? And like you see, this is even not about I mean, okay, sometimes I also get bad positions as white. But I don't think this is okay. I don't know if f5 is a good idea or not. I like this move. I want to play it. I want to punish white for like doing some wrong things on the king side. However, maybe it was not the best idea. Maybe it is not the best idea. Maybe I should have done something else. Oh, I forgot that my knight will be hanging on f4. Actually, it's not a big deal, because after rook e5 I take with my knight, not with the pawn. While, yeah, okay, before I was in time to tell you something, he made a move. And so obviously this position should be winning for black. Like maybe it will take some time for me to win it. Maybe it will not. We'll see. Maybe I will not win at all. That happens. That happens. I can even play b6. Like, no rush for me. Okay. Like, next move will be bishop f6. At the moment, I think I'm 2 pawns up at the moment. No. Oh no, I'm only 1 pawn up, and that pawn is pawn on h3. Okay, that's not great news. I expected to have more advantage, actually. Now the problem that bishop f6, there is an annoying move. Bishop g5, tricky move. Tricky way to survive for the guy, not to lose instantly. Okay, I play h2 first, and then I play maybe bishop g6. Makes sense. Yeah, like shielding the g file. King h2, then I have bishop d6. My next move will be bishop f6. If queen e6, I have rook f7. Everything is under control. Maybe I allowed something like rook d5. Maybe this is what white should play, and then even taking the pawn on h2. Like the h2 pawn is kind of not like this, like rook d5. Still, I expected him to play. Otherwise, queen e6 doesn't, like, it's not a bad move, but okay, so I have some annoying things to deal with. Yeah, now king h2 is already coming, and I cannot even play bishop f8 because of knight g5. But then what do I do? Maybe king h8, freeing my rook, but what I free up my rook for what? Let's play king h8. Feels somehow that it makes sense. Maybe I will play bishop f6. Bishop f6, knight f6, rook takes. Still better position for me. Yeah, perhaps like this is actually what I meant, saying that like maybe I win it later, maybe I don't win it at all, because after, I think, yeah, maybe here instead of b6 I had something better. Maybe not, I'm not sure. Okay, this one I can take. I think actually I should take. It's not like I have a choice. Boom, 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 boom. Like, okay, what if I play queen f8? I want to play rook e8 next move. Yeah, the only problem is that my bishop not at the best square. Like, it would be nice on this diagonal, or at least this diagonal, so helping me to attack the white king. After king h2, I'm not so sure if I can go for rook takes f2, takes, rook g2, queen h4, king g1. I know queen h3 he has. So I don't want to risk like I did it in the previous game. I don't want to risk, but maybe maybe if I don't risk, I don't win. I want him to play rook g3, then rook f5. Okay, maybe like this. I blundered. But I don't see anything better for him than rook g4. He can do rook g4. But I can still play rook h5, however. And after rook h4, I have nice stuff after rook e3. f3, queen f2, and they take on h4. This way I thought about starting with queen f2, but probably queen g2. Yeah, not so clear. Let's take then straight away. Should I take on c2? Can I take on c2? That's a good question. Let's start with h6. Probably I should have taken on h2, on c2, I mean. Oh, time. Yeah, I know somewhere here I had g3, just, yeah, somewhere here g3 several times. But yeah, the opening stage, if you play openings like this, then at least you should know what you do with white. Otherwise, you see, I didn't do anything, but I'm simply better with black. 5 is actually perfectly, just perfectly in time. G5, bishop h5 was the point. Yeah, b6 was like, you know, slow. I thought about like queen d6, bishop d6. Yeah, I just wasn't sure about them and missed the moment. Still had an advantage before I blundered before I blundered with rook f5. Actually, not a terrible, like you see, fortunately for me, not a terrible blunder. And white should have played queen e3. The game goes on. Okay, next game. Let's play e4, since anyway I don't pretend for anything. Yeah, I have 4 out of 6, so why not to do something. Here I have no idea what to do, so I will just follow my third course. I will develop Rook d1, rook e1. Maybe queen d2 was better because f5 is coming. Yeah, and I also have an idea of d5. Okay, rook d1, still no problem. Develop. That would be fun. That would be funny to lose this game. So you would say like, what a stupid course you were following. Everything is still okay for me, so no worries, especially since I play white, and I know that when you play white, if you develop your pieces, you will be doing good, and not playing like the guy in the last game and the woman or girl 2 games ago. a3 just in case against bishop b4. And maybe queen c3 looks interesting, aiming at the knight on f6, or d5 is a threat. At some point I might use the f4 pawn also as the target. Interesting. Like d5, like maybe bishop takes h3, he's hoping for that. Yeah, unfortunately my third course is not about calculation, so here I can't help myself. But I don't believe to the guy. I don't believe him. I don't buy it. I think he just blundered. Oh, he wanted to bluff me. And I thought I can even, if I take on f6, then bishop g2 is an interesting idea by the guy. However, even here I have knight g5 threatening some like checkmate on f7. But I thought that I can takes and bishop f1 attacking the queen, queen g4 check, bishop g2. Perhaps queen f6 is more like, you know, more aggressive. I think it should be fine for me after bishop g2, knight g5, and like rook f8 I can simply take on g2 probably. The knight on g5 will be nicely cover f3 and h3. And I think white's position is winning. So basically this is what my third course will be about. Then in converting and calculation, we will be on our own. And knight g5 I go for. Queen f7, queen h7 is a checkmate, so he should do something about that. Perhaps rook f8. I don't see anything else he could do. He could also start with rook e1, of course, rook e1, rook e1, rook f8 that way, but it doesn't change much. Yeah, so guys, like even if you are watching this like in recording, I would be interested to know your opinion. What would be a good title? Or at least comparing. Yeah, they have offered 2 ideas so far. Transitioning into middle game, which is not bad, but this is only, let's say, a part of the course, somewhere in the middle. The other title is worse, something like transforming opening strength into middle game advantage. So looks too heavy. Queen d7, how could that help you, boy? I can even take on f7, queen takes, knight takes, king g2. That would be good enough. I can also take on g2 and take on f7 next move. I see no problems of doing that. One more piece? Of course I take it. No. Rook e5, then queen g4. However, I think I can even take it, but let's go with a simple way. Yeah, this is an easy win. So how much? One pawn for a piece. The guy can resign. Oh, rook d8, bishop d5, king f6. I don't win a piece immediately. Okay, not a big deal. I didn't expect that anyway. So let's go for this. Bishop d5 check, and let's go for b4. Activating my pawn majority. However, maybe bishop d7 not a great idea. It doesn't make anything. Let's play f3. Maybe f3 is also not a great idea. Allowing him to play rook g8, but fortunately for me, I have rook f6. And that's it. Come on. What do you expect me to blunder, boy? Okay, no, I'm not gonna play king h1. I'll play something like bishop e3. I could have played c7 not right now. I expected him to play some bishop move. Funny. Funny. Yeah, so queen c2 was okay. Rook d1 was okay. Rook e1. Rook e1 I didn't play. Yeah, I decided to stop bishop f5 just in case. Queen c3 is nice. And yeah, of course, he should have reacted somehow. Then maybe I would play b4 or something else. Maybe, by the way, b4, bishop b2 might be an interesting idea and still threatening d5. But this is, of course, what is that? Yeah, but that's okay. Like, you see, the guy was playing black. When you play black, of course, sometimes you, I don't know why, like sometimes you like press on following somebody, checking somebody's game, and then they give you his games all the time. So playing against Jeffrey Song, like, okay, since I have lost 2 games to stronger guys, let's finally try to hold one. Even though, as you remember, I was completely winning against Pranesh. Yet I haven't scored some points. So let's try. The mission is to score some points now. So playing like solid chess, developing my pieces, staying calm, like saying to the guy, come on, show me your best. E6, of course, about stopping d5. Let's develop the knight. He can castle long, he can castle long, he can castle short. Let's see what he's gonna do. I think one of his ideas would be moving the bishop away and playing knight f4 and grabbing the bishop here. Otherwise, I don't even see a single problem for black here. Black is very solid. The bishop is out of the pawn chain. Also, like, one of the ideas might be f4, f5, h4 doesn't look great. Bishop where, b4 or e7, and maybe knight b6 instead of that. But okay, let's do something solid. Shouldn't be wrong. Yeah, the only thing I need to keep in mind, like f4, f5 idea. Yeah, the guy is definitely aiming for that one. Should I play h? No. He's aiming for knight f4. Of course, I told you about that. And yeah, if I play h5 now, it wouldn't be great for me. Okay, let's castle. If I castle, no, f5, f4, by the way, is not really a big problem. f5 I can take, and bishop has a square on h5. But okay. Let's play h6. I don't want to put my bishop on h5. I want it to be, yeah, like passive but alive. Passive but alive would be better than active but dead. f5, I take. Yeah, that's why knight g3. That was expected, quite expected, to take on f5 with the knight. Perhaps the idea is, that's the point. 5, e5, knight f5. What do I do then? Knight b6, knight c4 looks like an idea. Attacking something around. Otherwise, also knight c4 is not the only idea, of course. Like knight d5 is something quite natural. c5 is something to think about. Not necessarily play, but something to think. Now c5 looks quite interesting, but also a little bit risky. If little bit, I'm not so sure if little bit. Bishop b4 might be interesting, but then a3, no. Knight b d5 might be the move. Or c5. c5 is a little bit risky. Bishop b7, rook b8, bishop somewhere cd4. Do I need that? I'm not so sure about that. If I need that. Okay, I need to make a move. Knight d5 is interesting. Let's play knight d5. If c4, I think I can play bishop b4. Knight c3 looks risky. So probably should be knight f6. Now probably f5 is finally coming. Knight h6 is a threat. Let's take. Yeah, this is a worse position for me, unfortunately. Unfortunately, this is obviously. I don't want to gamble taken on a2. That looks quite risky. Maybe that's okay, however. G5, stuff like that might be very dangerous for me. Here I don't have the bishop pair, but the d4 is a kind of vulnerable. Maybe he's gonna play d5. So actually, yeah, d5, cd5, bishop d5, and knight d5 is not so great for me. That would be too early. Yeah, looks like now I'm in trouble. I hoped for knight f6, but then there is d7. I missed d7, but maybe it's still like I can. No. I thought I will be in time to play f6, then it would be okay position. Bishop c3, bishop d4, bishop d5. But now, rook e1, he cannot play at the moment rook e1. This is actually quite important thanks to that bishop, thanks to that offside bishop on b4. White cannot play a rook e1. And if he plays rook f1, I go for knight f6. Maybe he's like sacrificing the exchange might be interesting. Taken on f6. But maybe interesting enough for initiative, but not more than that. Maybe more than that. The problem that I would like to play after takes, I would like to play king g7, but then there is bishop e5. I would like to play bishop c3, but then the rook takes h6. So let's go for bishop d2, defending the pawn at least. Rook g6, yeah, I even saw rook g6, but I didn't expect it to be so unpleasant and so quick. What if I play bishop e3, bishop d4, rook g6, king h7, rook g7, king h8? Might work. Or I blunder something. No, I didn't blunder. That's good. But I'm low on time. I have 20 seconds. That's the problem. what can I say? Actually, okay position for me. Even rook e8 here, ignoring that, yeah. But then this position, of course, I should have simply like 25 seconds, not much, of course. And I was actually trying to go for some kind of perpetual, but I was not in time to find it. Also, like, okay, obviously this position is dead draw, but he was flagging me. So now it is a 6-minute break. This time I finally, I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly, but I think 2 previous tournaments I stopped at some point. I mean, I think I withdrew after round 7 or 8. And I didn't make it till the end. But today it looks like I'm playing fine. So basically against Pranesh I was winning. Against Xiong I had draw, but lost both games mainly on time, I would say. And like the only game against Sarana I lost, but okay, as you can see, the guy has 8 out of 8. Of course, that doesn't mean that I needed to lose the game against him, but at least it's not so. I mean, it's not a problem. Oh, Nakamura is winning against. Somehow Nakamura is winning against Caruana. So Nakamura is doing a dirty job for Sandarov. Phew. So if Nakamura wins, and for okay, Giri is winning at least, like so that means Sandarov will be simply 2 points ahead. 2 points ahead, 6 rounds to go. But actually both guys, and actually Giri will be like in round 13, Giri will be playing white, I guess, against, yeah, most likely he will be playing white against, yeah. So basically Sandarov has only two dangerous games: black against Caruana and black against Giri. Next round he plays black. He plays black against Blue Bomb, which will be probably an easy draw. Maybe he will even try to push for a win. So Caruana white, Giri white. Only other guys can leave the tournament. Doesn't make any sense for them to keep playing. Yeah, so Caruana, like you see, the problem is that Caruana is pretty strong, but he looks like he has no energy because yeah, unfortunately he is probably like too old. Because the way he lost to Sandarov wasn't great. even if he wasn't that well prepared. Actually, also other games he was wasting some time in the opening. Now, like losing drawish position to Nakamura. So unfortunately, yeah, I was hoping that Caruana will win the tournament. Perhaps he is too old for that. I would also say that Giri actually has a chance. Like, you know, he's saving some energy, but of course he needs some wins. But obviously he can score. He can score, but would that be enough for would that be enough? Not clear. Okay, let's play e4 once again, since we don't pretend for anything. Let's go for d4. That's it. Well, what I know here. Perhaps knight d5 shouldn't be a mistake. Do I need c3? However, let's start with bishop e2, castling first, and then I will see. Maybe, by the way, bishop d2, bishop c3 might be not a bad idea. Bishop d2, e5, bishop c3, eventually e5. So no, probably I don't need my bishop on. Probably I don't need my bishop on c3. Maybe it was a good moment to play c3. e5 doesn't win the game. Then okay, let's keep playing. Let's keep playing. Let's play c3 finally. One of the ideas might be like bishop e3, queen d2. Maybe queen e3, queen f4 is not a terrible idea, but queen e3 might be met with e5, or it doesn't make sense to play that. What next? What next? How about, no, knight d4, then knight e5 probably. Let's play h3, a useful move. Also, since black is out of easy moves, so black has to show up. Okay, let's play king h2, avoiding this situation, potential capture on h3. Maybe in for knight e5, maybe for d5. Yeah, most likely for knight e5. And I cannot play bishop f4 because it would only help to. I can actually. No, I cannot. d5 is not a problem. Knight e5 is not a problem. Let's play rook c1. I wanted to play queen c2, but my queen would be unprotected, so black would be able to play d5. That's why I start with rook c1, and maybe the queen would go to c2 or even b1. And then I could double. Actually, I could have started with that. I could have doubled the rooks, maybe rook d2, rook d1. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, that was expected. And actually I wanted to take on e5, but now I'm not sure if I really want it. Let's play queen b1. Yeah, this I can play knight d2. I thought I can do that. Perhaps d5 or maybe at least b6. Well, black should also be careful about f4 coming. F4 actually not a big deal. There is knight d7, maybe bishop f3 there, or maybe f5. Maybe black will go for d5 or f5. One of these breaks was expected. So my choice is to play f4. f4 would be really nice, but I don't like knight c4, because after knight c4, pawn takes. I could play f5, however, if I take, queen takes b1, rook takes b1, bishop takes d5. Okay, let's go to the endgame. The problem, I'm not in time to take on a7 because my a2 is also hanging. I can go for f4. Maybe it's not a great move. Maybe it's a good idea actually, because I can play, next move I could play c4, kicking that bishop away. c4, bishop c6, b4, no, bishop a4, maybe something like g3 or c4. Freeing my pieces. So next move I thought about, oh, bishop f3 would actually be a blunder. Great news, what can I say? But okay, I can play knight f3 at least. Yeah, black has no problems here. And I am worse on time, which is also not so great. Bishop b1 would be a good idea to include. Then I would have to play a4. Okay, I can do something then. Let's bring the king. I wanted to play knight d4, but then there might be some issues about that. Now if bishop c5, I have king f2. That's what I mean by some issues. This already looks good. I even would like to play b4, but then there are some problems about the c4 pawn. Black should play bishop b7, at least blocking the pawn on a6. So knight d5 was not a great idea. Here I felt good already. Okay. Not really pretending for anything. Bishop g2 system. The same story, he will probably go after the bishop, at least at some point, sooner or later. Knight c4 is a little bit annoying, so b3 is expected. So white is not in time to play knight f4. Overall, white's position looks quite wrong. But my king is in the center as well, so I shouldn't be so happy yet. Okay, let's play bishop f3. Maybe bishop d6 was a better move. But who knows? I think my king is quite safe at the moment, and I can even castle long. It wouldn't be a bad idea. But now, yes, now I need to find a square for the queen. Most likely white will play g4. At least he should, because otherwise white's position is just like deadly lost. Can I play g5? Oh, not really. g5, g4, I'm not so sure about that one, so that's why maybe h5 first. Yeah, actually, like, yeah, I wasn't sure about queen d3, but I have simple bishop e4. Knight is coming to e5. Yeah, it looked like a completely winning position for me, but for some reason, unfortunately, it's not completely winning. But how about bishop g4? Punch. A curious move. Okay. Not bad. Actually, maybe not good for me, because f3 is coming. What do I do about that? I can play bishop h3, of course, like saving some time for myself. But what next? Overall, the bishop can be easily trapped. Maybe bishop f4 was not a great idea. I moved it back to f3, but knight e5 then. He would grab my bishop here. Okay, I would allow them. I would allow him to do that. Knight e5, I'll play bishop d6. If he takes on f3, I take queen f3. And actually, he doesn't have a great move to, like, still there is some pressure on his king. Like, if he gives me 1-2 more moves, then f6, g5, white resigns. But of course, he can do something else. But I will castle alone. I will be a bad guy. He went this way. That's the point. Okay. Let's play queen f5. Queen e4 was interesting, but it was a cheap threat, cheap idea. Let's play f6, g5 is coming. Oh, what's that? Maybe just I just go for g5 and I don't care. Now let's take on d5. Let's take I didn't expect that one. Let's go for g5. I would have to exchange the bishops anyway, because after rook d7 there is rook e1. But now I have an idea of rook d4, so I'm fine about this position. I believe I should be a pawn up in the rook endgame. Maybe that wouldn't be enough to win, but okay, we have what we have. Oh, maybe I'm not even a pawn up. Oh, I'm not even a pawn up. Shoot. And rook f7 is coming, which is quite annoying, so I have no time to play rook d4. So probably I should take here. And then, what, rook h7 perhaps? Oh, I have rook d2. Rook d2, but okay, it doesn't give me much. Ooh, interesting idea by the guy. Yeah, I don't want to be passive, so I go for rook h7, defending my 7th rank. And I hope that I will be able to grab both of these pawns while... okay, he doesn't allow me that anyway, but okay, I go... No, I don't go. I don't want his rook on f5. Let's go for this. And then at some point there will be a race. Maybe sooner than I expected it to be. Maybe it's not gonna be good for me, actually. Oh, I will go rook h3. Yeah, that's good. Rook h3 is an important move. I like it. Or I was hoping for king moves c6. I still have I have no time. I forgot about that completely. So I need to make a draw. Just like to go for some perpetual, and that's it. At least not losing the game this time. Yeah, of course I should have beaten this guy. This guy is lucky to survive, but okay. The guy is quite optimistic about his position. Unfortunately, I don't have too much time, but I would play for a win here. I will play for a win here. Okay, let's just make a draw. Yeah, I think in the opening, like it should be a win for me. I don't believe it. h5. Okay, just castling along. Oh, bishop g4 was waste of time. It was a funny move, a nice move, but it was waste of time. It was better to keep my idea like bishop d6 to get in basically the same position as in the game, but maybe one tempo up. And also h4 is actually a threat by me. But I blunder h4. Then rook e8 was the only move to pretend for something. gh4 was the right capture first to start with, but it's already like a small advantage, like nothing. Yeah. Okay, unfortunately nothing. But okay, it's not so important anymore. Yeah, 2 games in candidates will be quite interesting. Giri against Sindarev and Karana against Sindarev. Okay, is this the last round? Yeah, it is the last round. Okay, so what do I do this time? Okay, let's still go for that d4 line. The knight goes to e3. Yeah, then we play bishop c4. Looks like the guy knows theory. Well, then we play h4. I know till this moment. Here I think h5 is the move, but I don't know what happens after that. Oh, maybe not. Maybe knight d4 is the move. Okay, let's think what we can do here. Let's go for a funny move. b4. Maybe the guy will blunder. Knight e4, ag6, fg6, queen takes e4, d4, rook takes d7. So he should play knight a4. For this move, I don't have a plan. Oh, actually, I also missed that he can. I missed that he can take with the knight. I didn't think about that. Of course, he can also take on c3, going for a mess. This one I didn't think either. Probably I'm worse. But the position is quite complex, so it's not so clear, let's say. I mean, obviously black is better, black is the exchange up. At the same time, black's king is weaker. Oh, but this move might be the game changer. Because if I lose the bishop, okay, my queen is defended by the knight, so at least. But yeah, even if I go for bishop b3, this is not great for business. So ideally, I would like to play something like knight d4, but it doesn't work. So let's take here first, and then let's go for knight d4 probably. Can I take on d5? No. Let's go for knight d4. And do I have anything here? Probably not really. Unfortunately, I was hoping for knight f5, but then knight f5, just like a piece down. Can I go for bishop takes d5? Then knight d5. Cannot even go for that one. The queen will be defended. Okay, let's just play bishop b3 then, and trying to survive in this endgame. Instead of trying to survive, I lost in a stupid way. Maybe like even being the exchange down was not that terrible, but I made some wrong moves. Power of the knights. Power of the knights. Oh, unfortunately, yeah, rook's power is stronger. Okay, at least playing the tournament till the end. This is already advantage. H5 is actually fine. No, 94, yeah, maybe 9. It's after g5, 94 is the move. What, after queen d7? So I should start it with this. So of course, starting with that. So forcing him fg6 first and then doing something else. Okay. I wouldn't say that I play badly. Blunders, yeah, made some blunders. Some games lost mainly because of the time. Still okay. So I will be streaming next title Tuesday, and then maybe also next week I will be streaming. Yeah, next week maybe we'll be streaming something on lead chess, playing rapid. Thank you for joining, and see you next time.